Hey, what's going on, y'all? Um, Good morning, good afternoon, depending on where you are. This your boy Big L, and I'm here. I'm just chilling. Welcome to your afternoon drive. I'm just sitting here chilling, thinking about the fact that this week's hey, what's going on, Alex? What's good? Going over my thoughts about hey, Tommy, what's cracking? The thoughts coming into this weekend. Hey, Pete. Going over, just thinking about what's happening this weekend. Glad y'all joining. What's up, Tom? Tommy. Hey, what's going up? But there, um, in retrospect and in review, again, hold off, man. I figured these first couple 3 weeks, it's like these games are pretty much like week 3 of the preseason. If we ain't getting killed, I'm pretty sure that there's going to be something to take away from it, even in a loss. If we're not getting murdered, be happy. Because, you know, if we come out relatively healthy, which we have, I mean, the whole situation with Trent Brown, that remains to be seen. But what we are, what we've discovered that, we would have discovered in training camp if we would have had one, if we would have had a preseason, is Denzel Good has progressed exponentially since last year because he held his own. It was Carolina, but he held his own against NFL caliber defensive end and blitzing linebackers and stuff. He didn't do bad. Now, that ramps up exponentially this week against Cameron Jordan. If he does half as good this week as he did last week, we definitely have a bargaining chip with Trent Brown. It's like quit being a bitch, get on the field, or you very may well could end up finding yourself somewhere you don't want to be, and we'll end up with a potentially fairly high draft pick or two for the guru to play with next year or for the next couple of years. Because as much as everybody wants to bitch and moan about us giving away number threes, in every situation where we've given up a three, we've gotten one back. Mayock don't play when it comes to that. He admits his mistakes and goes back and does everything he can to amend them. So all you cotton crack ass coaches that got more cotton in your crack than brains in your head, slow down on constantly criticizing the moves that Mayock and Gruden are making because they're producing. What's up, Graham? We have what's needed. Give them a chance to coach. Give them a chance to get the pieces. Because I'll go back to what I said when everybody started bitching about Mayock and what he was doing 2 or 3 years ago. He's still the only so-called prognosticator that includes Baby Vamp, Kuiper, and all these other idiots. Mayock was the only one ever, 2 straight years, to pick every pick in the first 2 rounds. Every single pick for the first 64 picks. He picked every single one of them correctly. So slow down with your bitching. So now, let's, now that we update about the nonsense, I'm sitting here watching the NFL Network, man. They got this girl up here that would actually be cute if she didn't put this Botox and bullshit in her face and her top lip looks like a fucking hot air balloon. It's ridiculous. Ladies, y'all are beautiful just the way you are. Quit fucking around and letting some psychopath get in your face and fuck it up. If you want somebody in your face, just open your mouth. I'm sure there's a man that'll accommodate you. Anyway, or a woman, it's the millennium. Um, but, okay, yeah. So, Gregory, you know what I'm talking about. I mean, cool, very informative, but them lips look ridiculous. Um, so, anyway, on to this week. Best news we could have got that didn't involve us doing anything. Michael Thomas is not a probable. He's just flat out. He's out. Michael Thomas is out. Period. I agree, Chris. Samantha Ponder, even though she has horrible taste in men, that man, Christian Ponder was the demise of the Florida State program. But anyway, oh no, that was Chris Ricks. Never mind. But hey, what's going on, David? Michael Thomas not being in the game, it's great. It's a wonderful, absolutely beautiful thing. But this the thing about it. Their offense is still like deadly. It's just because I mean, one, you got Drew Brees back there. I mean, la da da da, blah blah blah, Hall of Fame guy. We all know that. His arm isn't as strong as it used to be, but when you have the timing that he has, you can still throw long passes because you know your receivers that well, you know your limitations that well. You just throw the ball earlier, and when you can read defenses like he can, you know where your receiver's going to be, and you know where you need to get the ball, so you just get it there. But the thing is, you can't lose sight of the reality that their offense is like super balanced and it's really unpredictable because they have so many wild cards. Because, yes, as you mentioned, Kamara. I mean, they have other capable receivers, and you have Jared Cook, but see, I'm looking for somebody to just take him out because it's not the fact that we didn't offer Jared Cook money. It's not the fact that we didn't give him a quality contract offer. That bitch just left. He chose New Orleans over us. So let's remind him, the error that he made in judgment because he ain't done shit there but dropped the same passes that he dropped here. So let's just remind him. Let's give him a nice homecoming and knock the shit out of him. Billy Kirby, what's happening, my man? But because to me, like with Kamara, you have the versatility. He can come out of the backfield. We already know he's a beast running the ball. The added dynamic, again, another former Raider, Latavius Murray. Latavius can still run. I mean, like last week, he had more carries than Kamara did out of the backfield, but see, Kamara's the receiver out of the backfield. So he was catching the ball. Latavius didn't get targeted once, but Kamara's catching the ball out of the backfield. So, again, there's wild card. You have a run-pass option coming out of the backfield, and then they'll line them both up in the backfield, and then you cannot forget about Taysom Hill. I mean, their RPO game is, like, just insane because they can do it with 3 different people. And then you can put probably the most lethal option is Taysom Hill because he can run, he can pass, he can run and pass. You put him back there, and there's no guaranteeing what's going to happen. Yo, what's up, Raider Chris? Donnie, what's cracking? So the dynamic, with Thomas not in the game, it actually, in certain ways, can come up with making their offense even less predictable. So it could be a blessing and a curse because you don't know which receiver to key on, where before you did. And it adds to the fact that they'll open their playbook even more because they have to be more dynamic and more diverse because they lost their 100% go-to receiver. So that could be interesting. So that's one of the things that we really have to focus on and we really have to be concerned about, which leads to the second point, the defense. The biggest key to all of this week, to me, pressuring Drew Brees. Because if we are even remotely effective in pressuring, in shutting down the run, we didn't do bad last week. I mean, McCaffrey had some action. I mean, real talk. McCaffrey didn't, he he didn't run rampant on us, but he had a couple of moments, but for the most part, he's pretty tame. If we don't get pressure on Drew Brees, he's going to pick us apart. So it is just mandatory that front four pushes back. Drew Brees isn't that. Drew Brees is short. So, yeah, it's imperative that the defensive ends come off the edge, but it's even more important to me that the tackles push that middle into Brees. It'll open up blitzing. It'll open up man coverage so you can blitz. We have to get pressure on him to make him move. Can't let him get comfortable. Can't let him sit back there in the pocket with flat feet. And that's the thing. Brees has looked very average for the last 2.5 years. His arm talent fell way off. Hey, what's up, Kamish? He's looked incredibly average for the last 1.5, 2 years, which is why the Saints they've kicked ass the first half, 2/3 of seasons, and near the end of the season in the playoffs, they've been real pedestrian because their quarterback has shown his age. We need to push. We need to get in there. We need to do what we need to do on defense. I say the front four, but I also really seriously think the front seven. Kwiatkowski not being in, he had a great impact on our defense because when he was in, Carolina averaged 3 yards less per play, not just per run, but per play. So we missed our defensive quarterback, and just like ever since Nick Morrow's been in the league, he's been good enough. We don't need good enough. We need, exceptional. We need way above average. Good enough. This ain't college. C's don't get degrees in the NFL. C's get you free agent, roster filling bullshit. We don't need roster fillers. We're trying to be exceptional. The commitment to excellence. We need excellence. We don't need average. We don't need marginal. Yeah. And Walter, I see you down there referencing Duran. Yeah, they need to be hungry like the wolf. But yeah, the D needs to come with it. Unlike the last 3 or 4 years, we have a 6-man rotation on the D line. So fatigue should not be a problem. And being a Laker fan, on a side note, how'd that load management bullshit go for the Clippers? They got all offseason to rest. Fuck you, Clipper fans. Fuck the Clippers. LA has one basketball team, the Lakers. Back to the Raiders. Had to throw that in. It's always about the home soil when it really comes down to it. But, and then, we came out relatively injury free. And then the injuries that we did have were not substantial. Our running game, I honestly feel like, Rashard's been put on notice. Because he can't run inside. His asset was catching the ball. Well, Booker can catch the ball. Booker can run inside. Booker has the quickness and the agility that Rashard has. If we need, like I said, I said it Tuesday, if it gets to the point where we need to trim fat for a contract, Rashard may be the odd man out because his usefulness and what we need him for diminished greatly, and you saw that in which one of those backs got the game time, got the play time. And again, I'll say with Ruggs, the thing with Ruggs was it looked weird because of the way that the dude fell on him. Luckily, his foot was pointed backwards and he wasn't planted on it, because if he would have fell forward, there could have been ligament damage. His Achilles would have been in play and everything. But because he basically fell, the dude fell on him when his foot was extended. It just basically, you know, it hurt more because, like, okay, the difference is Michael Thomas. Michael Thomas was planted on his foot when they fell on him. So it ended up being a high ankle sprain. With Ruggs was been seeing, that's the thing. People forget. Ruggs came back in the game. Ruggs was back in the game before halftime. He just didn't catch a pass the rest of the first half. See, that's the difference. It's something that minuscule. The fact that his foot was, they fell on him and his foot was just a little bit one way and not the other, resulted in him getting an owie and not being out for 2 or 3 weeks. That's just like, Kwiatkowski basically just having his arm extended ended up in him getting like a sprain and not a muscle tear. So it's crazy how something that minuscule can, we don't think that it's that big a deal, but it's really that big a deal. And we are just, Booker was, and the thing is, not only was Booker good at Utah, look at him when he was in Atlanta. They had Booker and Freeman, and they were monsters in Atlanta. It's just that it was fucking Atlanta. He should have came to us with a Super Bowl ring, but we won't go into that. So that's my reality, and that's my take on it. Hey Nancy, how you doing, darling? That's just real. And then the fact that in our hometown, Vegas has us as a 5-point dog. I can see it. Well, but see, okay, if you listen to Carr's press conference, Graham, it's the mentality. Like he said, there's a lot of quarterbacks out there that pattern their game after Drew Brees and respected for this fact. Drew Brees has all those yards because he doesn't look for the big pass. He doesn't look for the big play. He's willing to throw underneath to get the completion. Does he end up getting a lot of deep passes completed? Yeah. But if that's not there right off the bat, if it's not there off rip, he'll throw under. You also got to remember, everybody criticizes Carr about the checkdowns. Come on, y'all. Look at his receiving core. Other than his first 2 years in the league, he had a bunch of fucking clowns running around out there. Used car salesmen were his receiving core. Look what happened this first game this year when he had legitimate receivers out there. He did throw the ball farther. There were 15 and 20 yard and longer passes attempted. He has receivers with speed. So yeah, the passing tree is going to get longer when you have capable receivers. Even the receiver that everybody laughed at when we signed him. Hey, what's going on, Raider Red, darling? Algalore. Everybody laughed. Everybody was like, wasted money. Da-da-da-da-da. Am I right or am I wrong? Did not the mighty man from Troy catch a touchdown pass? A deep touchdown pass. Stop. Quit blaming Carr for the garbage that was around him. Y'all blaming Carr for Riley McKenzie's fucking off and wasting money. Y'all blaming Mark Davis for Riley McKenzie. He trusted a general manager to do a job that he didn't do. And then the first year Mayock and Gruden were here, they were taking out the fucking trash. They are putting food in the cupboard now. They are putting hungry motherfuckers on the sideline. But you have people on the field now that know they can't bullshit around. Because if they do, there's a bunch of motherfucking hungry ass people on the sideline wanting to get in there and get some game time so they can get a check. So stop fucking. And by no means am I a car lover. I am a Raider fan. I am a Raider lover. Give that man his due. Which is, this is his year to prove what the fuck he's worth, given the fact that before he didn't have shit to play with. Now, this year, he has no fucking excuses. So all of you motherfuckers out there bitching about Derek Carr don't know what the fuck you're talking about, because you're holding him accountable for shit that wasn't his fault. That's like back in the day, all of you older brothers and sisters. Now, I'm a baby brother, so I know how this works. As an older sibling, how often did you like it when you got socked in the fucking head because your little brother or sister did some dumb shit? Now that's what y'all are doing. Y'all holding Derek Carr responsible for the receiver shit in the bed. For having garbage out there. Y'all are holding him responsible for cleaning up somebody else's fucking mess. And then him reacting to it. I do hold him accountable for playing like a bitch and sliding and falling down, but you put your leg on backwards and then fucking come out there and play like nothing ever happened to you for 2 years. Yeah, exactly. You motherfuckers, you. I ain't mad at y'all. I'm just calling y'all out on y'all's bullshit. So I love you, but stop. Give this motherfucker a chance. If halfway through the season, this motherfucker's running around with his dick in his hand and covering his ass with the other one, next man up. But right now, what I saw week 1, I saw Derek Carr from his second year in the league. So I'm willing to give him the opportunity to redeem and repent. The rest of you self-righteous motherfuckers, eat a dick or a pussy, whichever one gonna offend you the most. So, and on that note, guess who took down all the Raider images off of his fucking Instagram? Hey, Miss Leslie. Tyrell Williams, I guess, is upset with the Raider organization. So he took everything off of his Instagram that has to do with the Raiders. My reaction to this, good. Because now your Instagram feed matches what the fuck you did for the team. Not a goddamn thing. You stole money. You fucking pirate. You showed up every week on Monday with a mask and a gun to steal your money because you didn't do shit. You weak bitch, you. You came in on Mondays. You showed up. You played like you pulled your fucking uterus, you sissy bitch. And I'm not lessening the impact of all of you incredibly wonderful, beautiful women out there. But when a man plays like he has your parts, he's a bitch. And Tyrell Williams, you bitch, you. You played like you were bleeding down your leg every fucking minute you were on the field. I've watched you play live, dropping passes, half-ass running routes. You played like your asshole was so wide your shit just fell out. Fuck you. Delete yourself. Good luck in the free agent market. You'll be a real hot commodity in the motherfucking Scottish Football League. The fuck out of here. Gonna delete the fucking Raiders. Delete your motherfucking self, you sissy bitch, you. And on that note, that's the perfect way to say, I hope y'all on the East Coast enjoy your evening on your drive home. And on the West Coast, get back to work. Y'all got 3-4 hours left. But if you hustling, get your grind on. Because this is your boy L. And later on, you got Tattoo, also known as Prime, coming up later on today with your fantasy. Because you're going to be on Fantasy Island with Prime. And then you're going to have the commish popping on with your little pregame. And then you going to watch the Battle of the Pumpkinheads. The Browns and the fucking Bengals. But you know, an interesting point about that game, those are the only two teams that were created by the same person, Paul Brown. Which is pretty fucked up because that motherfucker created a bunch of hot trash. Either team would be perfect for you, Tyrell Williams, you pointless bitch, you. You fucking disappointment. You should have been a sheet shot. Piece of fucking trash. Fuck you. Gonna say, I'm gonna delete the Raiders. Delete yourself. You bend over and fuck yourself in the ass while you licking your balls, you dirty bitch. Oh, anyway. Okay, so, again, enjoy your drive home. Enjoy the rest of your day. I'm glad that y'all tuned in so you can get a little bit of Big L in your life. Peace, love, and as we say here on Raider Reaction, it's all about that nation. Love y'all.